one.
There we are. And here I am. Boy, that would have been a good one.
Yeah. All right. So Gloria, there's really space here.
So are you telling me I'm ready to go?
You're live.
I'm already live. Well, that's
Okay, there you go.
interesting. She did not tell me that. But anyway, welcome to my January Be Creative class with Julie Birschbach. I am live in the Hive here, Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. So I'm going to pop the camera down and show you what beautiful cards we're making today. All right. So these are the cards we are making. The first one is a happy birthday one that I made. Again, your choice. If you wanted to put on another saying, you are welcome to do that. I made a sympathy card, and I also made a thinking of you card. All right, I'm gonna get started here on these cards. Hang on here, I'm gonna try to get Christine's phone set. I don't know if I can get it so that I can actually watch. We'll have to see. I think I'm gonna have to have her do that when she comes back, because otherwise I can't see any comments with anyone. So I'm gonna get started. The January Be Creative cards. It is, I have one kit available. If you would like it, it's $19 or free with a $40 minimum order. Okay, I'll set that off to the side, and we are gonna start putting our cards together. Let's see if I can get her phone to go so I can actually see any comments. Maybe I have to go into that for her. I think I do. Hang on. Well, I'm on there, but I don't know where it is, so I'm gonna wait. As soon as Christine comes back, then we will see if we can get it up so I can view any comments. So we're gonna start by folding and burnishing, and you're going to have your embellishments in there. I'm gonna set them off to the side so I don't lose them. Okay. You're gonna have the balmy blue cardstock and a white. That'll go into the inside. And you're gonna have a strip of the Lights of Aurora, I believe the DSP was called. So we're gonna have a strip of that for the inside. Okay, I'm gonna set that off to the side. I'm gonna try not to glue my stuff in tonight again, or today again, only because it's just really nice to have that extra sample card for when I'm doing classes. So, and I can always glue that in later. So we're gonna start by adhering the DSP to the top. So you can decide, I liked it this way, I want it more of the colors. So I'm gonna go like this. We're gonna actually put that right on there to start out with, and that is just adhered directly onto the card front. There we go. Trying to leave it about the same amount of space all the way around it. And all you're gonna do is the top and the sides. You're gonna have more space at the bottom because you were covering that up anyway. So then you are going to have the berry burst trees, and I actually took my scissors and I cut them in half because it was easier to adhere them where I wanted. There's those little dots. On your black snow piece at the bottom, you are going to stamp your happy birthday. And the happy birthday that I used actually came from Sweet Jar. That's where I took mine from. You are gonna stamp that in Versamark ink. And then you're gonna use white embossing powder, and you're gonna put embossing powder on there and heat set that. So before you do that, you want to decide approximately, some of these are a little bit thicker, so if you don't want it that depth, then you're going to have to do a little trimming beforehand. So just know that this is gonna go down here to the bottom of your card. And you can put it all the way to the bottom if you want, or bring it up. I brought mine up just a little bit, okay? So you have your blue trees. And again, we may have to do a little trimming on these, depending upon how big of a piece I had when I did your die cutting, okay? So the trees go on here. These are your berry burst ones, and they're actually gonna go behind here. And what I did was, because I cut them in half, I actually flipped it. So normally it looks like this when you're gonna get it. I flipped the pieces like this when I adhered them. And I took and I adhered that to the back so that I could have showing whatever I wanted on my trees, and then I'll chop the rest off of there. So let's get one of them stuck on here first. I'm gonna add a little bit of glue down here. And then we're just gonna slip him right in, like so. Get him over there just a little bit more so that I have some of those trees showing. I'm gonna squeeze them up, bring them up a little bit more. There we go. Then take your paper scissors and you can trim off any extra. I'm gonna cut that tree out of there because he's gonna look funny otherwise, hanging off the edge. There we go. So now we have one. Now we're gonna put the other one over here on this side. Again, you can bring them in or out as far as you want. Get a little bit of liquid glue on there. We're gonna put him right about in there. Okay. Bring that over. So now I have the berry burst trees showing out through the back, a little bit of the balmy blue. And trim that off. So these pieces are gonna go on here, which are gonna go on the front of your card. This piece is popped up at the top because the deer are gonna get stuck behind here. So I took on mine and I took all these little extra things off because I only wanted the deer. So if you don't want to, you can let some of that greenery in there. That's your choice. But I didn't want it in there, so I'm gonna cut mine off. There we go. All right, got him out of there. Trim a little bit off the edge. I don't need him as that long. That deer's going back there. So this is basically what I need is, I just wanted the deer, and I have this so I can actually stick it right behind the black piece, okay? So I'm gonna add a few dimensionals along the top here. Grab the black ones. I think I have little ones, oh, maybe not. Oh, all right. I'm gonna put some of the large black ones in here. And just along the top part of it. And I'm gonna slide my deer in here so then I won't want any there. I need to put a few dimensionals on the back of the deer. And because I didn't bring my little ones along, I will create my own. There we go. I'm just gonna cut a little bit piece here. Stick a little bit on the back of this deer because I do want his body just popped up, and I also want that little deer's body popped up, so I'm going to add a little piece right to him. Okay, now I know that this is going to fit on like this, and that I want, oops, put that on in a minute, and I want my deer to be right in this area. So I'm gonna adhere my deer to the back of this before we get any farther. So I'm gonna put them right in here, and I'm gonna bring their feet down a little bit so they actually, you don't see the other part of it. So their feet are under a little bit, okay? Now, you can do this two ways. You can guesstimate where this is and then holding it there, and then add your liquid glue to the back. And then all you have to do, and you don't really need liquid glue on those trees, they'll be fine without. So then just gently lift that up and slide your trees in and adhere them. There you go. Now we're going to pop these dimensionals off, the backings. Oops, don't cover up my little gem there or I'll lose that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue down to the bottom here if you want, or you can pop it up. I'm going to pop mine up a little bit because I have the extra space here. So I'm going to add a few more dimensionals on the bottom. And take the backings off. Okay. And now, because I have my trees on here, of course I put on a little crooked. There we go. We're going to add this down here to the bottom. And I'm leaving a little bit of space here at the bottom. Okay. You could bring it all the way down if you want. But that's the front of the card. Now we're going to add our gems right away. So you're going to have either 2 large and 1 small, or 1 large and 2 little ones. So I am going to add a little one, and I'm going to also add a large one up here. And then I'm going to put one right down here by the happy birthday. There we go. So now we have the front of our card done. We just need to stamp the inside, and then I will add the little strip here. So for the inside on this one, I stamped for someone extra special, and I used Memento ink, and that actually came from the 12 Days of Crafting Advent calendar. Okay. Christine, is there any way to turn your phone on so that I can watch the comments?
So you have to hit the little, come on buddy.
Keep
you hit my
moving.
picture on the bottom right,
Okay.
and then if you click on my picture on the top,
Yep.
and then it's there.
There it is.
Hunky buddy.
There. Now I can at least watch some comments.
Hunky buddy.
Hopefully. Let's see here.
My baby.
I don't see anyone watching right now. Okay, well, I'm going to keep going. I am going to stamp the inside here. We're going to use Memento ink. And I'm going to lay this here on the side only because otherwise I will be off-centered. So let's get that stamped in there. Let's see if I have a piece of scrap just so I can check to make sure we're working good here. Yep. Awesome. Okay. And we're going to get that right in there. There we go, for someone extra special. And cover that up. Let's see if I do that. Oh, I'm trying to find any chats. I don't, not seeing any. Maybe I did something wrong.
Live chat.
Live that. Okay. Okay. So
Nobody's
I've got
watching.
nothing yet. Nobody's watching me. Oh, okay. Well, sometimes that's easier. Maybe they thought I wasn't going to go
Well,
live today,
it's
but it
fine.
is a little bit early. So, but yeah, that's fine. We're going to get that adhered to the side there. I'm going to trim off the extra. There we go. And then this would get adhered to the inside, oops, onto the balmy blue piece. Almost forgot that second layer, because I like to do more than one layer in the inside usually. Not always, but most of the time. There we go. That is it. Hi Karen Forward, I see you too. Thanks for watching. Okay, then this would go in the inside of our card. And then we would have card number 1 all done. But like I said, I'm not trying not to glue the insides in so that I have an extra one for class tonight. Okay? All right. Tuck him away. Get that one put in here for right now. Get that off to the side. All right. And then we're going to move on to this card, which is our sympathy card. So I think I got the right one. Yep, I do. Okay. Let's put some of my stuff out of the way here. I'll set that up there. This one has also the gems in it. We're going to set them off to the side. And we have our little snow piece where we're going to stamp with the sympathy. When I did these, I did cut them because I wanted to make sure that you knew how many would go on one side and how many go on the other side. That's so your pieces are cut in half. And then I also did the larger trees. You're going to have 3 arches. We're just going to glue all 3 of them together. And then we're going to add our trees. We also have a white piece that is embossed with birchwood, I believe is what it was. You will have a strip for the inside. So it's going to go right along the side there. And then we will also be double matting that one. Okay? Set that off to the side, and I'm going to start by burnishing the base. And we're going to simply start adding some of our stuff here. This card actually goes pretty quick. So we're going to add the birchwood embossed piece to the bottom, to the base. Usually add a little bit more glue when they're deeper embossed like this, just to make sure that they're going to stay. And remember, you can always dry fit your pieces to make sure that they're cut to where you want them. So if you wanted it a little less, you could trim off some extras. Okay, this out of our way. So we're going to start just by adhering the pieces, the arches, to the base. And you're pretty much centering it right on your card. Okay? Then after the Blackberry Bliss, we're going to add the white one. And then we are going to add the DSP, which I cut out of the beautiful paper. Okay, I'll gear him right in and there. Okay, so now we have all of those layers on here. Get that down good. Okay, I'm just going to double check. Yep. All right, for these trees, I did use my Stella, and I'm gonna Stella those up a little bit here. And again, you can trim off some of the extra if you want. When I die cut, you just cut your paper as big as you want. I'm gonna trim a little bit off the edge here. I don't think I need quite that much. There we go. So we're gonna start by using some Stella all over this guy. I don't want to squeeze it too much. This is one that I added some alcohol to, and I don't want it to like all of a sudden just come gushing out on me. So, and I'm going to add a little bit of Stella to these as well. There we go. One more. just get a little bit of, looks like a little bit of frost or snow on them. There we go. I might not need all of that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out about where this is going, and this is coming all the way down. Let's move this out of the way. This is coming all the way down to the bottom of your DSP part, okay? So it's gonna go just in here. So what I'm gonna do is add some liquid glue to the back of this, and I'm gonna gently lift it up and tuck this under as far as I want, which I believe, let me just double check for you. Pretty sure it's gonna go, yep, and bring it all the way down to our DSP. So let's get some liquid glue going. That's probably gonna be your best choice, is some liquid glue. I'm not sure exactly how you would, unless you use the adhesive strips on this. So get a little up here at the top. Okay, oh, a little bit over here. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna just bring this on. I'm gonna center it. I'm gonna center it right down at the bottom of my DSP arch. Give it a minute, get some of that to adhere. These pieces I'm actually going to put behind this, but we need to stamp first. So we're gonna grab our Blackberry Bliss ink, and we're gonna grab our With Sympathy, and the With Sympathy is coming from, let me grab that one for you, the Mixed Labels stamp. I used the With Sympathy on that, from that one. Okay, get these out of our way. We're gonna practice a little bit, make sure I've got, hopefully have it straight. It's a little bit hard to see sometimes when you have the red rubber stamps, if they're actually as straight as you want. So we're gonna go for it, and put it right about center. There we go. So With Sympathy. Close that up. Get some of that stamped off. I'm going to clean that up just so that I don't get any of that on my card. Okay. Now I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue here, and I'm going to actually bring these trees down into the edge. Okay. So there's the 4 trees, and actually there might be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to add those here to my left hand side, and you want to put them down just low enough so that the edge here, when I cut, isn't sticking out. Okay. On this side, we are gonna snip off this little single hanging out there tree. We don't need him. And we're gonna slip this guy over here on this edge, okay? Again, a little bit of liquid glue. And slide them in there. On this one, you're going to notice that it is in that die cut piece. You're going to see your purple from your trees, which is fine. Okay, there we go. Then all we need to do is adhere this down here at the bottom, and you can see your trees are going to line up. I just added liquid glue to the back here. Okay. You can pop it up if you want, but with the thickness behind there, it actually looks like it is kind of popped up. Okay, there we go. So that is it for the card front, other than we need to add our gems, which are right here. Again, either too large and one small, or vice versa. Okay, put one right up here, and then we're going to add 2 of them down into here. There's one, and oops, and a cat hair. I had to take that off. We don't need cat hair. There we
Makes
go.
Everything better.
There's cat hair all over. That's the way it goes. It could be worse. All right, so there's the front of the card. Now we need to stamp the inside. And for the inside, I used Forever Loved, Forever Remembered. And that saying is actually coming from the Right Word stamp set. Okay, so again, I'm going to practice with this one a little bit because it is the red rubber, and we want to make sure that it's somewhat straight. Okay. Oh, that one needs to be turned. That looks better. Okay. Get our paper here. Thank goodness I have 2 sides, so hopefully I'll get it right the first time and I won't have to do it over. Okay. Give it a little bit of a twist. Oh, it turned out great. Got lucky on that one. Okay. Then we're going to glue that strip, and we're going to adhere it to the Blackberry Bliss paper.
Yeah, he's the one that-
Okay. There we go. Oops. Scooch that back over a little bit. Alrighty. Then right on there. Center it. Close up the glue. Clean up my stamp. Alrighty, did I clean that one? I did. Awesome. Okay. And then this is going to get glued right in this inside of your card, and that is card number 2. Okay. And let's get this guy back in here so we know where he goes. Awesome. Okay. I think where I put it. There we go. And then we're going to move on to the very last card, which again, this one is a Thinking of You card. It is using the So Swirled embossing folder. And I die cut your trees. We're going to stamp the Thinking of You and cut around it. And the inside is, I left blank so you could write whatever message you would like. Okay, so we're going to start by moving our gems out of the way so hopefully I don't lose them. There we go. There is ribbon on this. I'm not sure if you actually can see that, but some people have forgotten it, so and I'm like, well, then you just don't have ribbon on your card. Get that out of our way. And just burnish that edge. Now, this will go down here, but we got to get that ribbon on first. So let me grab my tear and tape. We're going to make a tear and tape sandwich with that. Prep 2 pieces. And let's get some back here. One at the top and at the bottom. Get those backings off. You ladies are pretty quiet over there.
Trying.
They're
Making
working
nervous.
diligently and very quiet. Like
Well, Gina yelled at us this morning that we were really loud, or especially me.
Gina did?
She said I was really loud.
Oh,
So I'm trying to be church mice.
I think you're doing it. I think you're good.
That's fine if you
Okay, so now we do have our ribbon on there, and we're going to take the backing off of that, and we're going to adhere to the card front. Again, my choice is liquid glue. Add a little bit of that. I'm thinking everybody maybe thought that I wasn't doing a live or something today, that they actually thought I was gone already.
How many people are watching?
Just Karen.
How many does it say a number though?
No, it just,
Doesn't it have a number on
Oh.
the top left? Like, does it say how many?
no. So I don't think anybody is actually watching, which is fine.
Which is really weird.
I'm okay with that, I
It
guess.
says you have 10 people.
I know it says top messages and it shows 10 people, but
Yeah, 10 people are watching, not just Karen.
there's
Karen's not
11, okay, but
Here's
everybody's
somebody else.
really quiet and nobody wants to say hi to me.
Hi. There's 4 people in here listening.
There's 4 people in here watching me do this, so they're listening, so
Keep them on your A
you
game.
can at least chime in and say hi. Okay, so I'm gonna take my DSP and I'm going to adhere it to the white cardstock. You will have a very thin border. Okay. I want mine going this way. If you like you're going up more, then that's the way you can put them, okay? This is going to get adhered right to the front of your card, right over the top of that ribbon, okay? Let's grab some liquid glue. Oh, okay. Well, hi, Judy Sharp.
Yay, Judy Sharp.
You're eating lunch. Well, that's okay. Okay. Thanks for chiming in. And thanks, Karen. I'm glad I'm not completely alone because it's really strange doing lives when you are alone.
And you remember who Judy Sharp is, right?
I do know who Judy Sharp
You're
is.
in Raleigh with her?
Yeah. Okay, so I am going to just kind of finger guess where this is going to go, knowing that I need to trim a little bit off. So I'm going to line it up on the right-hand side. I'm going to take my fingernail and just go along that edge so I know where to trim. Okay. And trim off that little bit. I also used my Wink of Stella on this one because I thought the trees should be nice and sparkly, and this part also, the bottom. If you want that shorter, then you can by all means trim a little bit of that off. There we go. Just get a little bit of glitter going in there. Okay. Take this piece and add some liquid glue to the back.
I'm thinking about that right now.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Judy.
Oh my gosh, you missed. Okay, Karen, let's get back here. You missed it. Yeah. Maybe she'll come back. Judy Immel's here and she had to say hi, but she didn't realize that it was down on me, so I don't think you actually saw her. Okay, now you can come back over, Judy. There she is.
My mom would say, "You're going to Hollywood now. You're on TV."
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go back to my gluing here. So that's one of my church mice that's here, and she's really quiet. Okay, and then we're gonna add this just down on the
Until you
bottom
get her
here.
next to Karen.
Till she's next to Karen. Of course, they each have their halos now, so they should be good.
I know, right?
I bought each of the girls a halo the other day. Karen said she got the white one. Judy had to take the black one, but I'm pretty sure they many times can share the white one. Okay, so we got that part done. We're going to do a little bit of stamping. I'm going to stamp Thinking of You, which I gave you a little bit bigger piece of paper that you needed. And the Thinking of You is also coming from the right words. We are going to grab my Memento ink.
Only 10 people on Friday, though. Kelly will be here on
And stamp that on there. Ooh, that got up a little high. I'm going to bring it down. Tip it over, bring it down just a little bit. That gives me a little more room for cutting around. Okay, then I'm going to take my paper scissors and I'm going to cut around it. You can cut as much or as little as you want. Just give it a different, just gives it a different, little bit different look. There we go. There we go. Simple like that. Quick cut. Add a few mini dimensionals on the back. We're going to pop that up a little bit. And let's see if I can get one in here. Yep. Okay. Awesome. Take the backings off of those. And then we're going to add it right up here to the top of our card. And add our gems. Put one there. Put a large one, and then I'm going to add the little one right in here. Okay. All right. So now we have the front of our card done. All we need to do is, if you want to stamp something on the inside, you're welcome to. I'm going to let it blank. I'm going to adhere the DSP strip to the inside. White piece. There we go. All right, and then we're going to add that to the balmy blue piece. Center that, okay. And then you would adhere that to the inside of your card. And then your third card is already done. So these cards really come together very quickly. There's very little stamping and everything is so die cut for you, so they're actually quite easy. So, all right. Did anyone have a favorite? I know that there's people watching. Not everybody's commenting, and that's fine. Sometimes I watch and I don't get a chance to comment either, but if you have a favorite one, let me know. I will show off some of my other cards that are coming up in the future. I did do the YouTube lives for February, March, and April. I will be back live to do the May card, okay? So let me change back so that I can show you the cards that are coming up. Thanks, Judy. I'm glad you liked the cards. All right, let's see here. We are going to start with February. So February cards are, they used Peaceful Pier, Prairie Grass, Elements of Text, and Charming Sentiments. Okay, so this is card number 1. It's a Thinking of You card. Okay. Card number 2 is a Happy Birthday card. And no, there are not dies, so you will have to fussy cut around those fish, but they actually cut out pretty easy. So it should be good with that. Card number 3 is a Just Because. I did give you 2 different size circles, so if you don't want, just because if you want to put a larger sentiment, there is a little bit larger of a circle in your kit, so you could easily change that up without having to grab extra paper. Okay, so those are the February cards. If you are interested in this, please message me. You can reach me at juliebirschbach@gmail.com, or you can, my phone number is 849-2931. And the YouTube Live will be Wednesday, February 11th at 3 o'clock. If you would like to do these cards in person, I am offering a, let me flip here. I'm offering February, March, April, and May cards. If you do all 4 months and you want to do them in May, on May 30th at my house, I am providing a lunch with that, but you do need to do all 4 months. So if you're interested in that, please reach out to me. I do have a few spaces available yet for that, okay? All right, we're gonna go back to the next month. Okay, so that was February. March. March is Spotlight on Nature, Charming Day, and Sunrise Sailing. Okay, the first one is a happy birthday. So we're gonna color that with some daubers and blender pens. And then card number 2, I made it into a congratulations, so you could easily have a nice wedding card. Weddings will be coming up, I'm sure. And the last card is a thank you card. So basically it's some stamping on this one. There is no coloring on this one. Okay, that is March. Now on to April. April, we used Notes and Totes, Prairie Grass, Charming Day, and Storybook Friends. Okay, so the first card, and I left them loose so that if you wanted to slide a gift card in there, you easily could slide a gift card in there, or if you want to slide cash in there, you could do that too. I'm sure that would be pretty cool. Okay, I did that on all 3 of them. So the third one is a hello. Again, I left it so you could slide a gift card in there. You don't have to. If you don't want to, you could always glue it flat if you thought you didn't want to let that loose like that. The third card is a relax and enjoy. And if you wanted to, I left mine blank, but you could easily do this as a retirement card. Okay, that's April. And then on to May. So I have everything cut and kitted all the way through May. So May, our first card is a thank you card. And I actually used Kitsugi paper, I think is on this one. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. I'm sure I'm saying it incorrect, but that's the paper I used on this one. And the second card, oh gosh, I can't think of what paper I used on this one. Just a little bit of blending here with a sponge, simple. And then the last card is a happy birthday, and this paper is the January special paper that you could order. Okay, so I was only able to get 1 pack of that, so I had to be very conservative when I cut. So that is what I came up with for the cut, so that I had enough to do for everyone. So that is the May. Jeannie, you love April. Well, I'm glad you like April. I liked April cards too. Like I said, April cards to me I thought were just kind of cool. I have a granddaughter who's in college, so I thought it would be kind of cool to send her and stick some cash into those, a hello or a happy birthday to her, and I thought that was kind of awesome. Okay, So right now that is what I have coming up, and I am good all the way through May. I am leaving this week Saturday, and I will not be back in Wisconsin until late April. But if you need to, you are welcome. Let me put this here in case you need to take a screenshot. I'm gonna flip back down so you can take a screenshot of my information. And if you do need to reach me, please don't hesitate to call. Send me an email, whatever. Let's flip this down just so you can see. All right. So again, here's my information. You can find Stampin' in the Woods with Julie. That's where I will list my classes. Email me if you're interested. Give me a phone call or send me a text. This is the May class. The May YouTube Live will be Wednesday, May 20th at 3 o'clock. But the class, the in-person class, will be on May 30th at my house. Okay? All right. That is where we're at for today. Thanks everyone for watching. I appreciate everything, and don't feel like you can't reach out to me with any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you. Have a great day.